So, my friend, you just got into university and you're wondering, what do I need to know? Who do I need to be friends with? How do I even do this uni thing? Can I even adult? Well, I've got a few tips and tricks for you. I just graduated from university and I thought it would be a perfect video to kind of just explain the do's and don'ts of your first year at university and how you really need to conduct yourself. So let's get it started. Freshers Week will give you that initial burst of understanding of your surroundings. If you're someone who does go out to clubs or to parties, you'll be able to see the local area, you'll be able to meet people who go to courses similar to yours, and you'll actually be able to network with a lot of people. But what I do advise for a lot of first years, especially people who maybe grew up in villages or maybe people who aren't really used to a city life if you're going to a city university, is that you don't need to try to become someone else that you don't believe that you are. So for example, when I went to university, I drink, I don't smoke. And I saw a lot of my friends dabbling in things that they don't really do when we were back at home, but they thought it was something that they had to do because of the peer pressure of Freshers Week and fresher reps. You don't need to do that. Now, if you do smoke or you do drink, by all means, go and do that. That's all you. But if you don't do those things, maybe you don't subscribe to smoking or doing those things, or even going out to a club, don't feel pressured that you have to go and do these things. If you do want to go and meet new friends, there are things that can be done during the day for people who don't like going out at night. There are obviously societies and networking groups that you can join, that you can do throughout your studies, that you don't have to be doing at night time again. Now, the next thing I want to get onto. Staying in halls. If you are going to stay in halls, it's kind of like a Hunger Games situation where a group of strangers have literally just been put into this confined box, 12 people, 8 people, 6 people, depending on the size, and you are basically have to live with these people for a year. You don't know them, they don't know you. But you'll probably find some amazing people that will help you, push you, and you can have lifelong friends with. But on the flip side, you might find people who have never grown up with your kind of background, never met someone like you or from where you're from ethnically, or where your family is from, and sometimes there can be a clash. You might have people who have only grown up in 5-bedroom homes and have had butlers their whole life. You have people who are from a 1-bedroom council flat who don't have parents. Like you'll have people who on both ends of the spectrum, and sometimes they mold really well because you get to learn from each side, and sometimes you don't blend very well because each side is ignorant to how the other lives. So what I would say is connect with everyone, talk to everyone, and kind of find a group or a tribe of people who kind of have the same values as you, and it will make it so much easier to go through your university experience. A lot of my friends who have struggled through the university experience have done so because they haven't found those core 5 friends who, when they've had a bad lecture, or maybe they failed a test, or maybe they're revising, they don't have someone to fall back to, they don't have a group that can hold them accountable. So I would definitely recommend finding a great group of friends and finding people who have similar interests to you, and that might involve you joining a society, which brings on to tip number 3. So tip number 3, joining a society. I could definitely not recommend this enough. I was part of the gymnastics society. I was also part of the art and design society. I took graphic design for my degree. And it's amazing to be around like-minded people, especially for your course or for your sports interest. If you do a sport, maybe you do canoeing, maybe you do rowing, maybe you do rock climbing, maybe you want to join a sport, maybe cheerleading, maybe gymnastics, I would definitely recommend you going and joining and being around these people, because maybe things back in your halls aren't working out. Maybe you don't have any friends in your course, but the people from your society, you become a tribe, you become people who hold each other accountable to training sessions, you get to go on tour together, you get to go on competitions together, and you really, like, everyone in your first year, you all have a fresh plate. It's a clean start. So no one knows the person that you were back at home. So really use the societies to get a new friend circle. Maybe you'll meet people in 2nd, 3rd and 4th year. And trust me, this is one of the best things I ever did. Tip number 4. Learning how to cook. I personally I love food. If you've watched the vlogs, I love food. But I definitely think that just having pot noodles, just having microwave rice will kill you eventually. I'm not gonna lie to you. So instead, I think if you learn how to cook some basic dishes, I would definitely recommend being able to cook some pasta dishes, maybe mac and cheese. If you're a meat eater, being able to cook some basic like chicken or spaghetti bolognese. Obviously, if you're vegan or vegetarian, there are equivalents to that. And learning how to cook 5 basic dishes or 3 basic dishes that you can cook before or after lectures or before or after revision will really help you, because you spending all of your time on takeaways and spending time like buying all of these like takeaways and going out to restaurants, where really in your first year you need to be reserving as much money as you can to go out and do things. So learning how to cook will save you so much money, and trust me, you'll appreciate me for it. So I went to Nottingham Trent University, so I can only speak about the local shops that we have, but tip number 5 is knowing what shops to shop at. Wilko, if you have one in the city or town that your university is, will be your best friend. You'll be able to find kitchen products, you'll be able to find your toilet roll, you'll be able to find all of the bulk things that you're going to need day to day, month to month at Wilko. Where else I would recommend shopping is Aldi. You can get cheap alcohol, you can get cheap meats and produce there also. And also, obviously, the big giant, Tesco. Tesco, get a club card. And the points that you earn on your club card will actually help you pay for things later on. And obviously, you're going to be there for 3 years. So maybe you might have to build up a year's worth of points on your club card before you can actually use them in your second year. But definitely I would recommend you getting a club card. I would recommend you shopping at Tesco and Aldi. If you have a Lidl near you, I'd recommend Lidl also. But trust me, man, it's not everyday John Lewis, it's not everyday Waitrose. Like, you can ball on a budget, you can still buy all the things you would at Waitrose or John Lewis, but for a cheaper price. But definitely Wilko, Aldi, Lidl, and then the big giant Tesco. Now guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you are a student, you're someone that's going into their first year, please comment, like and share. Tag someone who needs this. Share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please tag us. I would love to speak to you, give you some advice one-to-one. And until the next time guys, peace.
Renee, you a babe.